Hey everyone, Rich here. I just thought I'd come and give you an update on what's happening with JUNKPUNK over the next few weeks and months in terms of development. We have had a big chat about all the feedback we've had from Monolith 2 and about the game in general. And one of the things that really we want to be doing, oh, by the way, I'm just going to run around and play for a bit just because all the stuff that's in progress we're not ready to show yet. But yeah, one of the things that we want to do for JP is we want to squash all the annoyances and all the bugs that we've had in the game so far. We think that right now we're in a really good position where the content is strong and we've got enough content for people to enjoy as is. What we want to avoid is continually plowing content in and we don't fix some of the fundamental problems that we have. We've been looking at ways we can improve the start of the game, the mid game, late game, etc. Maybe some of the grindiness to just remove that even more. And just generally what we want to do is make sure that everyone has a really smooth experience on the game and there's no annoyances. And that means we're going to go right from start to finish again. We're going to check everything and we're going to just hopefully make it way smoother. Unfortunately, this is the nature of the beast when it comes to early access, and with a small company like us, we try to get a viable game ready, because we're always on the clock, and JUNKPUNK has now become quite successful, and it's allowed us to give us the time to go back to the start again, and we're going to go and check all of these things that you've been giving us feedback on that you're not particularly happy with. So I guess I will say thanks very much for the support, and it's going really well, way better than we would have hoped. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to be going back and checking everything just like we did with the base building. We realized that we need to do big improvements, and stuff like the support system, just it wasn't working as well as we had intended. And in the end, ultimately, was it really for this game? Not sure, maybe not. So I think when you listen to feedback and you listen to the people that are playing the game, I think it's far more important that the game is fun rather than realistic and not fun. So I think we made some good moves here for Monolith 2, and I'm really looking forward to Monolith 3. But what we will be doing before Monolith 3, speaking of content and new stuff like that, is Monolith 3 will be a pretty huge change, but there will be I say smaller, they're still going to be very significant, but there's going to be updates before then that are going to improve a lot of different things. So one thing I personally don't like is having to run everywhere. Well, I put the teleporter in because it was getting a bit crazy having to run everywhere like this all the time, right? But obviously you don't want to have to run somewhere, build a teleporter, and then teleport back and forth all the time. So we are going to be looking at putting a vehicle in the game for the next update, so Leaf can have a way of traversing the landscape that's way quicker than running. We did want to do that sooner, but when the Monolith 2 list just got crazy, and I think we ended up having 173 tasks on the Monolith 2 list, and we did like 158 of them. So I'm pretty happy we got that far, but obviously we needed to try and curtail what we were putting in for Monolith 2, because it's just like we're never going to hit this deadline if we don't stop somewhere and release it. So we are definitely going to be putting in a vehicle. What I want to do as well, whilst the vehicle model is being made and whilst that's all getting programmed in, I'm going to be improving the lore and improving the storyline. We have pretty much settled on the storyline now, and I'm really happy with where it is, and I'm really happy with the kind of twists and turns it's going to take. So I'm going to be introducing more lore to the game. I'm going to be introducing more places to explore in the game. What I want to do is, some of you may have seen the village that I put in the last update. That only has an empty room in it at the moment, with a couple of loot boxes. That's just purely because I didn't get time to do everything that I wanted to do on that village. As you know, it's just so much content went in one or two. But what I really want to be doing is putting more places to explore all over the world. This is a save game, by the way, so anyone that's watching this for the first time, it's not just empty. I have I have already done all of this area and crafted stuff with it. But yeah, what I want to be doing is I want to be adding more areas to the map where we can explore and basically find more loot boxes, find more storyline, and uncover all the lore in the game. So that'll be something that's coming as well, just basically giving players more chance to explore and just not just constantly crafting, not just constantly you know, doing the same thing over and over. They can take a break and go and explore certain things. And I'm just going to run over to the village, but basically I would like, hopefully, for the majority of buildings to be accessible, but you have to bear with me there, because you know, I have to create the inside of every building myself. So although Java has done an amazing job when it comes to building our modular kit, this is something that we as a team are trying to integrate into our whole development pipeline, is modularity. Because when we like, okay, let's build this building, if we can do it in a modular way, where we have a set of things we can use, what it means is I can then go and design a whole building like this, and it doesn't have to be made in that modeling program as one thing. It gives me full creativity as an artist to basically change the, for example, change the color, change the things that are on the side of the buildings. And you know, if I go over to this one, I believe you know, you can cause damage to the building, and that doesn't have to be modeled. I made all of this with the parts that the modular kit that we designed, so it gives us so much power. And I want to hopefully continue that modularity and really improve on all the different places you can explore, improve on the lore, get a vehicle in of some, we're not sure what kind of vehicle yet, but definitely a vehicle is coming. We may just do like a transport one for now, like kind of like a quad bike or something that you can just get to places faster. But I'm sure I'd probably like some kind of loader or some kind of carry-all later down the line. So yeah, that's kind of it. So we'll be pushing updates like that before we do Monolith 3. We think we've got enough feedback now, we've got enough players and enough of a community to get involved, that we think let's improve everything that we want for the beginning of the game. Like for example, at the beginning of the game, what I really want to do is have kind of like an automated scrap drone that will go and mine the small scrap areas. So whilst you're exploring, it can just be like a little almost like a man hack from Half-Life or something, you know, something like that. And yeah, I think that'd be cool. And then just all the other bits and bobs that we want to add before we get into Monolith 3. I think when we achieve all of that and we know the game's solid for the next, you know, update, that's when I think we'll be happy to go ahead with Monolith 3. Yeah, so that kind of wraps it up. And yeah, I guess I'll just say thank you for the continued support. JUNKPUNK has been received really well, and I'm really happy with it. We're always trying to push the boundaries here, and I'm hoping we can continue to do that with your support, and we can grow the game. This is the most important thing, is like trying to grow the game. And I think if we keep pushing at it, and we keep making it awesome, and we just keep improving the game, I'm really hoping that we can have a game that we can get, you know, grow into a massive community. And we can only do that with your support, because we just cannot compete with the bigger guys at all. You can just absolutely flood the market with you know, tons of content and marketing. So thank you for your continued support, and I'm hoping we can bring these changes to you sooner rather than later. I'm thinking we have an update on one of the other games coming out at the end of this month, but what we do is we do basically split development. So I reckon in my mind, maybe end of July we should be able to get a nice juicy update out for JUNKPUNK with all of these fixes in. And yeah, even stuff like the menus we want to go over again, some of the buttons and what things do, we would like to go over that and just polish this again. Like this, for example, I would like to improve these menus down here, just improve how some things work. We did a lot of improvements when it came to map functionality in the last update, but really what I want to do is just make sure that by the time we got to Monolith 3, this game is polished, super polished. And when that is done, you know, and it's like almost totally bug free and the experience is great and no one's saying, hey, the UI is janky, then I'll be like, cool, we're ready to do Monolith 3, because then we know that everyone coming into the game is going to like it, everyone having to start a new game is going to like it, you know, and we can just say, we can just move on with confidence and be sure that everyone's playing a game that is, you know, bug-free, fun, and just generally awesome to play and a really polished experience. So that kind of wraps it up, really. Don't know what else to say apart from I am stuck now. There we go. And yeah, so we will definitely be posting some in-progress videos of what we're working on. They will come soon, and yeah, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.